Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about jet sweep, uh, and also a wrinkle that we all like to add onto our offenses at some point during our coaching careers. I know that for us it's always been something we've used throughout the course of seasons for a lot of various reasons, and we'll touch on some of those today. But I think the jet sweep is a great addition and can be used at every level, at any level, and I've seen it used, at all levels. So I'll talk about how we use it and what we do and how we attack it and attack defenses and stuff with it. Hopefully, you'll love this little wrinkle, and you can all enjoy the talk. So we'll move on, and we'll as usual we'll show a few clips, draw the best we can, and show what we do. And this is the reason why we run jet sweep. For me, it's a great equaliser. And when I mean great equaliser, it means if you lack talent, if you lack outline, um, depth or outline quality, using the jet usually means that we can nullify that outline and just really work on getting to the outside and trying to keep our the chains moving and the offense gearing up. Again, it's easy to teach. We know that if this was a 5 minute install, we could teach this in 5 minutes. It's a case of just getting the reps in of whether you're going to hand the ball off or pop pass it, and basically getting your guys to the edge as fast as possible. Again, as one of the things that at our level in the UK, we have to try and find ways to get our athletes the ball as often as possible and as quickly as possible. And in this situation, when we run the jet sweep, we are literally taking away almost every possible scenario that can go wrong, and we're giving the athlete the ball directly for them to hopefully make moves and make yards. The idea of getting our best guys ball in hand is always something that we strive for as offensive coordinators. And my final point on this one is it's a great compliment. We can use jet sweep as a straight up run play, or we can use jet sweep as a misdirection, a motion, all kinds of things. And I've used it all over the various guys throughout my own coaching career. And we'll talk about some of this as we move along. We'll go to our huddle playbook, and we'll draw it up. Okay. Okay. Now, if we always decide in 2 by 2, and for me, nothing has ever changed. For me, it's always that X and Y on. So our jet is in this situation. If it's in 2 by 2, will be our guys off the line. Obviously, they have to be off the line. Would be H and Z. Okay. Now, in years gone by, we've changed the way that we do it. We sometimes we hand off, sometimes we pop pass it, depending on how the QBs and what we're doing with the running backs and the QBs post snap. Now, if we're attaching an option to it or if we're attaching something else to it, then we might hit the football or an RPO. We might hit the football, hand that ball off, so it gives us a better mesh point and a better idea of disguising what we're doing. If we are literally just not doing any of that and we're just trying to get the ball to our QB, our receiver, we might just pop pass it to him, and that way, if we drop it, it's incomplete, and then if we catch it, it actually turns into cheap passing yards for our QBs. But that's the way that we do it. Now I'll talk about how we run it, and we'll start with our Z because he's the farthest man away. We will block this outside zone. Okay, I know. I've seen it on Twitter the other day. One of my coaching colleagues talking about this. I'll talk about how we attack this as well a little bit. Is really our only block on this is that end man, and if we miss him, we're not too fussed because we're hoping that our fastest guy is faster than their the end. That's what it comes down to. But we'll talk about how we manipulated that to a certain extent in the past because of how we ran it backside and what we did to it. But and now we don't do that so much now because of the different approach that we take to it. Okay, But that we run outside zone rules with our offensive line, so it's nothing new to teach for the offensive line. And our H and our X will be most dangerous man. Okay, and that's how we ask them to block it. Very first non-color shirt that we're in, we want them to go and get it. Okay, that's what we want to do. The first non-color shirt we're in, we want them to get. Okay, now we always motion our guy with a foot or a hand. That can be, I don't know how you guys want to do, but that is totally up to you. And that's where you as a coach have to make the decision yourself. What fits best for you? What fits best for your kids? And it might be a case of asking your guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to use a foot, a hand, a helmet, tap? Whatever you want to do, let them decide. Get them involved in it. They'll enjoy the process. The way we taught this, and the way we found it by repping, trial and error, is that we motion our guy, and when he gets to that first tackle, is when we snap the football. If we leave it any later, we can miss the snap, we can miss the mesh, and that causes all kinds of problems. So we want the QB to get the ball in hand before our jet guy gets there. So we say to the QB, and obviously every guy running the football is going to be a different speed. So we need to have a landmark or a ground mark where we can say, when we get to this point, that ball's got to be snapped and in your hand. So we always say, when that player gets to the first tackle, we snap the ball, okay? And we snap the ball, and that QB gets it. Now, currently, we hand off, okay? We hand off. So our QB will flash, obviously, will flash across the face of the quarterback. He will just simply hand the ball out, and our receiver will take it. And this is what we have to do in practice: is that we have to give our receivers time and reps taking a handoff, because it's not the same as catching a pop pass. It's literally just like a running back skill of taking a handoff. And we teach it the same way with elbow to the QB's face, big basket, etc., etc. The usual running back rules that apply to him. So that's how we teach. If it was a pop pass, you wouldn't do that so much. It would just be a case of repping it and getting your receivers to catch the ball that pops on the fly ball. Okay. Now, you can see here we want to block that backside tackle. Okay, but if we don't get him, we're not too worried, because currently our R is our lead blocker, and we've run this for the last couple of years, and he will get the first non-coloured jersey that he sees. Now, if it happens to be a stud the end or a stud linebacker who's really causing problems, then he's going to go and get him first, and hopefully steal that edge to give our man in motion the angle to get around the edge and gain yards. Okay. Now, what's different now to in the past is that in the past we would run things backside, and we may have had plays off of it, so we would run zone off of it and stuff. So we would not have that protection from our back, and have that protection in multiple formations. So if we in the past we used to run option backside off of it, or we tried to the best of our ability. So what we would do on the snap is once our running back, our receiver got the football, he would bevel out 2 or 3 yards to give himself a little bit of space for if they're at the end, flash down and causes problems. We could bevel out, hopefully avoid that mess, avoid that traffic, and still run our track in on our way. Now, we haven't done it for a number of years because we don't run it the same way as we used to. We've now got a blocker there to try and avoid that and then clean up all that mess. So we don't do that now, okay? That's what we try to do to avoid that. But that's the 2 ways that we have run that. The pop pass version, and the pop pass version, and bellying the runner to create space so that we don't get caught up in that D end if he's a baller, or if he's going to be a headache for us. Okay. Now again, the other way around, the same thing would still apply. We would probably put our back there, no matter what. We switch the back so that he's always going to be that lead blocker, Now that our right side receivers will block. Okay. And our H now would run the motion. Remember, our rules apply. It's closer to the tackle, so it will be a quicker snap. But as soon as we reach that tackle, the ball comes and we get it. Again, we take that hand off from the quarterback, and hopefully our running back is going round and steering the most dangerous man that he finds, creating a space to attack that outside leverage. Okay, and that's how we run it for 2x2 currently, and we've run it since probably 2018, 19, and that's how we currently use it, and it does work for us. If anybody saw the video that I put up the other day on pistol wing stuff, very similar to that, but we do this is from our regular set. Okay. Of course, we can always add wrinkles and add compliments. So one of the things that we've always been a fan of here, me personally, is I've always been a fan of empty. Okay. And when we're in empty, it can be empty right or empty left, whatever we choose to do. Let's say it's empty left. But yeah, empty left. We'll basically push our receiver over. And then we've got this guy here. And now we can still run our motion. We could have an R in motion. It gives us another look, another compliment. We can have an R motion. We could throw off the R motion on the backside. We could throw double hitches, etc., etc. Or we could hand the ball off. Or if you could do it, we used to do in the past. Sorry. We used to run a lot of QB power and counter. So we would add that off of it. A simple take back step. And we would run power off the jet to give us another complement, another wrinkle, and ways to keep our offensive moving. Again, the jet player is a great addition, simple enough, and you can add it to all the stuff that you already do, which is why I've always been a fan and I've always loved it. And then we'll just show you a couple of clips of what we always run and how we try to do it. Again, as I've said, the more you do it and the more you rely on it, you're going to need more compliments. So you could actually have, as I said before, if you are in 2x2, okay, and you're jetting the height, you could maybe you could maybe have a backside hitch here or a backside slant here, a release, whatever you choose to do, so that if once you keep bombing, especially if you're two jetters or if you're two jet guys or your slot guys, so you're X and your zero on, then you can do different things with those outgoing receivers as complementary plays too. And we've never really done it that way, so we haven't really utilised it as much as we possibly could. But that's just how we run it and what we do. Moving forward, a couple of clips from our last season that we played. Obviously, we haven't played since 2019 due to COVID. Got two clips from 2019. I got a couple of clips from previous years, just explaining how we have ran Jet and what we've done. You can see that here we are in 2x2. We're in the red zone. That has no implications on us really. We've not really been a team of we have to run motion in the red zone. It's something that I need to look more into, but it's never been a key factor that I have to motion in the red zone. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and I try not to. As I spoke to before, I try not to be giving out too many tendencies because these things happen. So we like to be unpredictable as the best that we possibly can be. It's outside zone rules for our line. Okay. We want our receiver to go ahead at him, and we want our running back to lead to the outside and get somebody he could. Now, if this guy was a stud or a warder, you can see that they're in a 3 foot, so he's got nobody. So he's going to work for that level there. But if that M was a stud, then our running back might have to go ahead and chip on and help. But in this case, he's not. And to be fair to us, we don't see that many stud DEs are normally inside. Okay. On the snap, our receiver's going to take the football, run his track, sorry. So he gets a signal from the QB, hand signal. Because it's jet, I know we did an interview with Coach Baker and he talked about his organisation and they don't mind that job. But because it's jet, we want to run it full speed from the get go. So we want to be attacking that football as fast as we possibly can. When we get into our mesh point, our receiver has to elbow the QB in the face. Running back mentality, running back rules. Okay, and our QB, all your QB does is hand that ball out there and let the running back take it. Okay, and almost turned into a pop pass because of the way it was. But you can see that the backside guy can't catch our fast receiver. And if you know anything about my own personal preferences, I like fast guys on the outside. So if we are jetting our Z, he's going to be somebody who's really, really fast and can move very, very quickly. Okay, you can see our running back looking for work now. Our receiver's going to go ahead and get his guy, which we like. Our running back's going to come in and get looking for work. And you can see that our running back does a great job there, sealing that edge, and that in turn gives us the opportunity to get to the goal line in the end zone. Okay, just run it back. So you can see that with our running back now lead blocking. In the past, we haven't done that, but in recent times, that's how we did it. We get that. Hopefully, we get the edge sealed. Doesn't always work. We are human. There are errors. People miss blocks. People lose battles. You know, there's no coach in the world is going to say we win every rep because we don't. It's a lie. So we can only hope for what we're trying to achieve on paper. In this case, we do a great job of it. A little bit, it could have been a better block from our receiver, but I have seen our guys called hanging on too long and holding at that point. So he did a good job of letting him go when the referee was looking that way. You can see we just get close to the goal line. I think we have two angles of the clip. We do. This is the end zone angle. And you can see that we're just going to have outside zone blocking for our own line, or they should be. That's the rule on this play. You can see that our receiver locks him up and our running back is looking for work. Great job setting that edge. You can see our receivers engaged here, who did a great job there. Good job all around from our offense, really. Keeps our guy moving. Let me just get to the one, to the off-field line. Great rep. Great example. Second example of 2019. Again, it's going to be our Z motion. We do motion our H, but because our H is a bigger body guy, we have to be careful, and so we might move people around to start a series or in a series, so that we can exploit and use that H best we can. But in this terms, our athlete who's played quarterback and receiver and running back and everything, he's now currently at Z. Same employees. We don't care what coverage they're in. We don't care what their front is, because it's jet. We hope that this guy here is going to be faster than all this, no matter what they do. That's our hope. And then all we need is to get 2 blocks on the outside, best we can, and a seal block from our running back, and we should hopefully be good to move forward and gain yards. And that's how we attack it. And that might be simplified too much. That's how we look at it, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Outside zone rules. The motion with the hand. You can see our running back is leading. We missed a block on the inside from our receiver there. But our outside guy's still putting work in. And you can see that we get the legs on the outside. And we gain 15, 20 plus yards off of this play. This is a great equalizer for us in this season, because we had a rookie O-line, a rookie quarterback, a rookie running back, a QB playing receiver who wasn't a QB, and athletes in various spots that they hadn't played before. So it wasn't a mismatch of a put together offense. So we did what we could to make sure that we made yards and get the ball moving. And in this case, this is one of those plays where it's a great equaliser, gets your playmakers the ball and can get you yardage on a consistent basis. Of course, when we do this over and over again, this is where you have to have compliments because they will start overloading that slow where the runner is. And you can't run into it, you can't run into bodies and numbers, regardless of how fast they are. So we have to figure a way to change that. Okay? So there's a couple of things that we ran in the past. That was 2019. There's a couple of things that we've run in the past, and these are the ways that we've run it, and the compliments that we've been able to put on there. This was 2013, again, where we had a converted quarterback, and we had no real outside speed really, apart from one guy. But anyway, you can see that we are an empty, and our running back is going to play receiver. So this is now where we're stuck with a little bit of our R jet coming into factor. And in this clip, our R is just going to be in motion. It's a foot. It's still a handoff for us at this point, but we're running power on this play, and our QB just keeps it and goes the opposite way, and we make yards. In this instance, in this clip for me, I'm trying to show you is that this is the complement. It's now a complement play. The jet is a motion, and we're just complementing our power with the jet aspect. Okay. Again, so when we're running power, we will just run power. The jet motion is a nice little bolt-on, nice little addition. It's very, very cheap install. It costs little to no time to do it, especially when we're already repping. We might have 10 minutes of jet period where we're repping the jet with all of our guys. They're all running through the jet process, the jet track, and so hopefully they all get it down on what we're trying to achieve. And we'll have running backs running through and receivers running through, etc., etc. Okay, we'll move forward. Now, in this case, you've just seen us. We're still in empty. We're still in our 5 receiver set. However, it's a running back there because we were trying to be consistent with our formations. But now, in this case, we hand it off to the running back to be consistent with our jet motion, and also once you hand that ball off once, they have to respect it. Okay, so whether it be an R, an H, a Z, an X, once they get that ball once, they have to respect that every time they come in motion. So if you do a lot of motions, it will force the defense to go and strike to that side. They have to honor it because if they don't, you're gonna burn them. But so you can't just run jet and not hand it off. You have to hand that initial ball off or initial 2 balls off to create the mindset that you're going to run jet a lot, even if you are going to continue to run the ball inside. You can, if you have the backs and the right set up, you can have jet in inside zone, jet and power, etc., etc., etc. You don't have to be QB or power or counter. It's just that was our weapon of choice. So in this one, you can see that we're handing the ball to our running back. This only matches 4 yards. But what we're looking at is that they now have to think about that R jetting every time we were empty, as well as the H jetting, and as well as everything else, and as well as the QB power, as well as the QB sweep, whatever we got in. So there's 5 factors that they've got to counter. Plus, because we run the pass off of it, we have birds and stick, etc., etc. We have things that we can run off of this as well. So we try to build complements and create questions for the defense. And that's what we like. Now this is Z-Jet now. And again, in this instance, we're not handing the football off, although we will, and we can. You've already seen a few clips earlier of from 2019 where we hand the ball off to our Z. So that's the X. We hand the ball off to our Z consistently. So of course, if we are running XJet, then we have to ask our out to step on the line, and these are rules and regulations that you have to put in place yourself when you're installing it. Not everybody does the multiple on-off stuff because it can go wrong. It can end up causing your flags and putting you back. So if you're going to do it, you have to be consistent with it. And in this season, we did because it was something that we worked on a lot. Farther down the line, currently when we have more, and we can do more. Now we pretty much stick to either H and Z, H and Y are going to be off, or etc. etc. You know what I mean? It's whatever it's going to be, and that's going to be pretty much it. So in this case, it's still window dressing for us. We're still running our QB power up in the middle. Okay. But all we're doing is if we've run jet enough times to know that they have to honor that jet. Well, it's a fake jet. And we make a nice 10-yard gain off it. Another one. You can see that influences the defenses. We're in the red zone. Watch it back. You see that we're in the red zone now. It's another X jet. But you can see that all the guys coming across is influencing the defense. And we're simply going to run QB power inside. Again, this is 2013, so I'm not quite sure what our back was doing on this point. At this point in time, he wouldn't have been lead blocking. We didn't do it at that point, so I'm not sure what his whether it was optional or whatever he was supposed to be doing, but we don't do it because we've called QB power. But you can see that all the guys are influenced by that jet in receiver. We pulled guys to it, and we just have a free rein up the middle for our quarterback. Okay, so you can see us now utilizing the jet play, utilizing the jet motion, additional plays, additional stuff that we can use. Very, very simple and effective install times and install periods. Okay, our next one is that we're going to jet now. We want to manipulate the defense, we can. You got a Z jet now. You see that the linebackers shuffle over. We then when the running back on a swing. It's a simple throw, and we utilize the space that's been exploited by that vacating defense. Excellent track from RSZ. He goes full speed, really sells it. The backers and everybody shuffle over. They've taken steps in. Corner has attacked. He's committed to attacking, and all we do is replace him. That's all we do, and then we basically run into the grass that is vacated. Okay. Many versions, many ways to run our jet sweep, and our complementary plays off of it. Now, I'm sure that if we had to run a jet offense, we could, and you could do enough to enough wrinkles to get by with adding outside pass plays and stuff, and you can actually commit to jet as your base offensive run play, and it's something that you could do. We've never done it personally, but we like to add that motion and the wrinkle. I've got one last clip for you. We don't make anything on this play, to be honest with you, but I just wanted to show you that this is how we ran it on in the latest part of the season, later part of my career. We run a pop pass. And you can see on the pop pass version, all our QB does is he hands the football and pops out. We ask our running back to bevel out like this to avoid all the mess. We just miss blocks and we get nothing off of it. As you can see, we die. But I wanted to put the clip in because I wanted a good angle of us running the pop pass. So if our footage at the field level was not great, but this is a good example of us actually converting the pop pass and using the bevel to avoid any mess in the middle. So guys, again, hopefully you've enjoyed what we've put out. Uh, maybe you've taken something away. Maybe you already run what we do and it's nothing new to you. But I always appreciate you jumping on, taking a watch, having a look, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. So for now, take care and thank you.